Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. How are you guys doing? So today I'm going to be making a short bubu dress, and this short bubu dress is going to be having a lapel in front. So it's just a really simple bubu dress. I just saw this picture on Pinterest and it was looking very beautiful, so I decided to recreate the lapel in front. So now the difference between my style and that style is that one they have enough fabric, so the dress was like A-line, the sleeve too was like A-line. But for me, I'm just going to be making a simple bubu dress with the neckline of that style. So I hope you understand. So that's what I'm going to be doing. So I'm going to be using this blue material for my lapel. So let's get started. So the fabric I have here is around 80 inches, and I want the length of my dress to be around 38 inches. So it means this is going to be okay for me. So I folded it into 4, just the normal way you are going to be folding for your bubu style. So let's get started with the cutting. So the first thing you're going to be cutting out, your neckline. So the neckline I'm working with is 3 inches. So you mark out your 3 inches this way. So I'm cutting the front and the back together, note that. So I'm going to be coming down by 1 inch for my back neckline. Then for my front neckline, I'm going to be coming down by 3 inches. So I'm going to be connecting all of this into my neckline this way. So now the next thing you're going to be doing, you're going to be measuring the shoulder length that you want. So let me measure mine. So I think I want it to be around 17 inches. So now from this tip here, I'm going to be marking out my 17 inches, and I'm also going to be marking out 2 inches for my folding allowance. So I have 19 inches here. And I'm going to be coming down by 1 inch for my shoulder slope, and I'm going to be connecting this 1 inch here, this 1 inch here, back to my neckline. So this is it. So the next thing you're going to be marking, your sleeve opening. So for me, the sleeve opening I want is around 10 inches. So this is 10 inches. So the same measurement I have here, I'm going to be replacing it here, which is 19 inches. So I'm replacing it here. So you just connect them. So this is my shoulder opening, 10 inches, and this is my slope. So the next thing to do now is to divide your bust measurement into 4. So you divide your bust measurement into 4, and you're going to be adding 4 inches. That's the looseness I want. So if you want more than that, you can add. So for me, I'm working with 9.5 inches. When my bust measurement was divided into 4, I had 9.5. So I'm going to be adding 4 inches. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm adding 4 inches this way. So the same thing I have here, I'm just going to be taking it all down. So this is 4. So I'm just going to be connecting all of these lines into a straight line. So the next thing I'm going to be doing is that from this shoulder here, I'm going to be marking the full length of what I want. So the full length of what I want is 38, and I'm going to be adding 2 inches for my folding allowance, which is 40. So I have 40 here exactly. So I'm just going to be trimming it and making it straight enough. So now at this shoulder area, you just try to connect this way. So I hope you can see what I'm doing. So I just try to connect it this way. So I'm going to be cutting out now. So the first thing I'm going to be cutting my back neckline. Cutting. Now let's work on the front. So I'm going to be removing one for the back, and I'll use the other one to work for the front. So I'm just opening it up. So now the first thing to do is to cut out your neckline this way. So my neckline, which is 3 inches, I'm going to be cutting it out. So now to get your lapel, this is so simple. So to get your lapel, you determine how deep you want your opening to be. So for me, I'm going to be working with 6 inches or 6.5 inches. So which is actually okay for me because I don't want my bust to show too much. So I think I'm going to be working with 6 inches. So now from these 6 inches that you mark out, I hope you can see what I'm doing. So from this your neckline here, you are going to be marking 6 inches. So you can mark 7, you can mark 8. It depends on how wide you want it to be and how deep you want your neckline to show, your cleavage to show. So I'm going to be opening up this 6 this way. So when I open it up this way, so this is how the style is looking. So this is your front neckline. So by the time you use your lapel, it should be looking this way. It should be looking this way. So I hope you understand. So this is just how the lapel is in front. So I'm going to be cutting out this neckline using that blue material. So by the time I'm done sewing and I turn it, it's going to be looking this way. So let me just cut out that first, then we continue. I just want to make the opening also. So I had to cut out, like to just trace out the neckline for the front with this blue material. So what we are going to be doing now is just to sew this out. So to sew, this is the right side of my fabric. So you're going to be placing your opening, that is like your facing. So it depends on what the color you want to use. Any color you feel like using is fine. So you're just going to be placing it right sides facing each other. Then you follow your neckline and you sew. So you just follow your neckline, you sew this way, you come down this way, you sew. And when you are done sewing, when I'm done sewing, then I'll come back and show you guys how it's looking. So I'm just going to take this to the sewing machine and sew through the neckline, through my opening this way. Then I'll continue this way, then come back and show you. So I'm also going to be cutting out a facing for my back neckline. I'm just going to be using the Ankara for that. So guys, I'm done with the back. So this is it after I was done turning this neckline. So this is how it's looking. So this is the pieces I cut out to turn for the back. So I went ahead to make a top stitch, then I turned it, and so this is how the back is looking. Now this is your front. So you notice that I've gone ahead to iron this very well. So my lapel is already showing, but let me show you what I did. So this is our neckline on the norms. You get, this is the opening that I gave it around that 6 inches. So by the time I was done sewing, I have around 6.5 inches. So what I now did was that I now turned it this way. So you can see that it's giving me like a lapel for, as if I'm making a coat or something. So this is it. But the only thing I did differently was that, so that this lapel can sit properly on the neckline, so I went ahead to add interfacing to my material that I used to turn. So just the way I placed the material and we turn it out, that was how I did it. And I sew it out after I was done, and I gave it a very good press. So you can see that I ironed it. After I was done ironing, that was when I now pressed out my lapel. So you can see how simple this bubu actually looks. But if you see the style, it's looking so complicated, but that is just it. So the next thing to do now is just to place my back and my front this way and go ahead and stitch it out, stitch the shoulders out. Then I'm going to be turning my sleeve with my 2 inches sewing allowance. Remember I added 2 inches, so I'm going to be stitching it out this way. So you're just going to go ahead, measure your 2 inches, go in by ½ inch and just sew. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm also going to be doing for the down part. But there's another thing I did. So from this shoulder, I measured 18 inches down. Now the reason is because I wanted to add pockets to this gown. So I marked 18 inches down. Then I placed a notch around that side for both the front and the back. So it's going to help me to place these 4 pieces of fabric for my pocket. So I'm just going to be placing it this way, right sides facing each other. Then I sew. So I'm going to do it on the other side also, right sides facing each other. Then I sew. I'll do it on the other side also. Then I'll sew it normal. So let me just go ahead to join the shoulder, make the sleeve area, then I'll come back and show you. Then we continue with the tutorial. So guys, after I was done joining the shoulder, so the next thing to do is to work on your sleeve. So I'm going ahead to fold in my 2 inches. So I'm just going to be running a straight stitch this way and also on the other side. And I've gone ahead to join my pockets, so right sides facing each other. So I did that. Then here also I went ahead to just fold it in. So I'm just going to sew it this way. So I'm just going to go ahead and finish up all of this and come back and show you. So these are things I've done. I joined the shoulder, I turn in the shoulder, the opening of the shoulder area of the sleeve, the opening of the sleeve. So this is the pockets. So this was how I sewed it. So after I was done turning this one over, so I started my sewing this way. So I went through the pocket area and curve it back, and I finish it here. So now before I start sewing, I make sure I turn this side also before doing that. So now I'm just going to be turning this to the right side and showing you how it's looking finally. This is the end of the tutorial. So this is your lapel. So this tutorial is majorly just for this lapel. So every other part is just the same as the normal way you sew your bubu. So the neckline, you can see how neat everything is looking. So you go ahead to give your dress a good press. So this is the pocket area. So you just go ahead to give your dress a good press, and everything is going to be looking as neat as you want it to. So guys, thank you so much for watching this tutorial. I hope this tutorial was helpful. If it was, please give me a thumbs up, like and subscribe to the channel, and I'm going to be seeing you in my next tutorial. Bye guys.